Welcome to Three the Hardaway, aka the three-man jail and weave, aka the best big three since LeBron D Wade, and Bosh, live on YouTube on a Tuesday. If you are here, please leave a like on the stream, comment to join the discussion, and of course, subscribe to the channel so we can make our way to that 200 done. If you don't know who I am the walking bucket providing instant offense. It's your boy Savage. Up here, we don't get the coach on the sideline, so we get the next best thing. We get my brother from another mother, Mr. Scalito.
Man,
Skyler, what's good, man?
can I still be the coach on the side? Like, can I be like Eric Spoelstra or something, bro? Like, can I do that? What's going on? What's going on, Savage? Y'all still know me on X at _Skyler.
X.
Appreciate it. Yeah, exactly. I want to say
no
Twitter so bad. Okay, well, since we got it like that, now I'm still on Twitter at _Skyler. I appreciate the invite.
Okay, if you are a coach, what? So you can't be Spoelstra. That's shitty. So who would you be? I'm trying to think. Because I don't think I'm call you Darvin Ham. I'm trying to be respectful. You ain't Darvin Ham.
No, I want to be Darvin Ham. If I had to pick a coach on the spot, who would I be? No cap. I still looking at. I'm a big Rick Carlisle fan.
Rick Carlisle. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's still one of those like old fashioned coaches. Like he's gonna like make sure that he holds everybody accountable. And I'm still big on defense. And Rick Carlisle, if nothing else, he's going to preach defense. Well, except for the Pacers except for the Pacers.
He tried.
But historically speaking, he's definitely known for making sure his team is coached and they're universal on the defensive end. So let me go Rick Carlisle on that one.
Okay, his Jim Carrey looking ass. All right. Exactly. We also got your favorite DJ's favorite G, that Sample Man himself, Mr. Ted Shakir. Toot, what up?
What up, brothers? What's going on, gentlemen? How y'all doing, man? Peace, love, and
happiness. There you go.
We Gucci, man. All right, so NBA trip. We getting right into it. This is for you, Tevin. This is specifically for you. Last week was about me. You know what I'm saying, with the Cam Newton situation, which is cool. That's fine. My question.
It ain't cool. It ain't fine.
I thought it was good, man. We passed that now. I thought it was good.
Nah.
So my question for you two.
What's up, bro?
It's a hard question, so think carefully. When was the last time the Detroit Pistons won a game?
Oh, that's fucked up.
Was it before or after that Wingstop advertisement?
Goddamn Wingstop. It's something in them wings, man. Stop eating them here. I know they're on the 17-game losing streak.
20.
Oh, it's 20 now? Oh, shit.
Yes.
It'll be October something.
Okay. October.
Well, when the season start. give it. I'm gonna just say October 22nd.
Nope, a little bit later than that.
25th.
Keep going.
30th?
Nope, go back.
It'd be wild if it was Halloween.
No. Right, I was gonna say
okay. That's 27th.
One day after.
28.
October 28 was the last time the Detroit Pistons won a basketball game. My son has never seen a Detroit Pistons victory.
That's crazy.
He's never seen it.
But you want to know something he has seen?
What?
A Lakers championship.
Oh, fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here! Fuck out of here! We are not
championship, baby.
We are not segueing. We are not segueing like that, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what's my saying? You can't troll a troll. Good try.
I see what you did there too.
A for effort, my guy.
We are not segueing off of that. Absolutely
okay.
not. My next question. This is my next question. Then we can segue. My next question is: when will the Detroit Pistons win a game? And I'll pull up their schedule. Next up for the rest of December, this is the teams they got. You got Philadelphia back to back, Milwaukee, Atlanta, Utah, maybe Brooklyn, Boston, and Toronto. Are they gonna win a game this month too?
Yeah, they can beat Atlanta, or they can beat Atlanta.
I low-key want to go Atlanta. For real. Like, cause it's one of those that like it'll be one of them random games where like, Detroit, they finally decide to show up, or Atlanta just like they kind of like dog walking. They're like, we should be able to walk through this relatively quickly. And then it's one of those, if you put some money on like the Atlanta Hawks money line, like knowing my bad luck, that'll be the game that they win. So actually, I'm with you. I would be surprised if it was the Hawks or the Jazz game.
Okay, so the Hawks game is literally next Monday. So will they have won a game before our next episode? That's the question.
Next Monday,
yes, yes.
Next Monday is when they get wings.
Okay, next Monday they get wins. Okay, we gonna see, ladies and gentlemen. We gonna see.
Golly, that hurt, man. I'm sorry.
I
Playoff.
feel like I also feel like we just jinxed them at the same time. So now they may go the rest of the month and I get a dub.
I just wanted to know. I'm sorry too. I just had to ask, man. I had to ask.
That's
All right,
all right, bro. That's all right. I'm gonna get
now,
you back.
now we can segue into the Lakers winning a championship, I guess you could call it. The Lakers did beat the Indiana Pacers to win the first ever in-season tournament. Of course, LeBron James did win MVP. AD had like 40 and 20 and some change. Austin Reeves was hoping for a change. And I'm happy that the regular season mattered to some extent, but I'm unsure of how to feel about, like, they're raising a banner in LA. I just want to know y'all thoughts about just the feeling of the in-season tournament. Did you enjoy it? And how do you feel like after the fact of them winning this, again, championship? Like, what does this mean for you in the grand scheme of things?
I'll go first.
Please do,
Actually,
like fan.
yeah, that's crazy. You just did that. As a fan of basketball, but I'm not a big basketball watcher until pretty much the NFL season is over with. So like January, February is when I start to when I start to kind of like lock in on the game. So having the in-season tournament for me was good. Like it was watchable outside of the courts. Actually, let's start with the courts. The courts were terrible. Like I'm not sure what intern, what person they said we're going to stamp you with the concept of coming up with the court designs and the color schemes of the courts. That person should no longer be doing it. I'm of the mindset that I feel like, to get more fan engagement, open it up to the fans, let the fans come up with like somewhat how it should look, right? You should have like a skeleton of like the court's going to look like this, and then come up with color schemes based off of that. I did not like the color schemes of the court at all. I think the New Orleans Pelicans had like the worst one I've ever seen. I don't probably ever want to see that again. The courts were terrible, but however, the games were really, really enjoyable to watch. You could definitely tell there was a level of, I guess, excitement that the players had. They played, in my opinion, with more urgency. They played with a level of care that you typically don't see around this time of the season. So from that aspect, I liked it. I like the reward that each player got, which was the $500,000. And I think that's key to call out, just because you have those players that's not making that money, right? That's not even going to sniff that amount of money as they get towards the end of the season. So again, that was reward for them. I like the format of it. If there was one or two things that I would change, I think I would push the group play, the in-season tournament itself, to probably start a little bit more to around January, February-ish. For me, is what I would probably like to see. I kind of didn't like how early in the season that it was. But at the end of the day, I think it was really, really good to watch. Seeing, and we'll talk about this team in a minute, but seeing teams like the Pacers, one of those younger teams in the league that, they don't have the playoff experience that you would probably want when it comes to the playoffs. So seeing teams like that kind of grow up within our eyes, I thought it was good to see, giving players like Tyrese Halliburton, Deshaun, that I feel like they deserve. That was really, really good to see. So all in all, I liked it. As far as like the Lakers themselves, all in all, I think the Lakers were the best team of all the teams that were in it. They got healthy at the right time. They got Vanderbilt. They got Cam Reddish. They got Taurean Prince, who are really good defenders. Like I think we saw that against the Pacers. You saw that against the Pelicans. Those three were really, really key because again, they got healthy right when the in-season tournament started. But again, they were able to kind of lock down or minimize what some of the star opposing players would be able to do on offense. But then you had LeBron, who I think was able to also set the tone, not even just for the Lakers, but I think again across the league in terms of like how important it was to them. So I like that. Again, probably the oldest player in the league took it probably more serious than anybody, right? So I think he was averaging 30 across the entire tournament. So that was good to see. So all in all, I liked it. I think I would push more of it to start towards the closer towards like January, February. But at the end of the day, I liked it. I think I saw a tweet earlier. The championship game had 4.5 million views, which is probably the highest that they've seen in like a 6-year span. So again, that's just speaking to like how much like not only the players enjoyed it, but we as fans were able to watch and enjoy it as well too. So I definitely liked it. Definitely changed the courts, but then also I think pushing it towards January, February would have been it for me. But all in all, for it to be the first year of it was really really good. I'm not too fond of the Lakers raising a championship banner for it, but
especially the Lakers, bro. Like the Lakers, they don't raise no mid-season. As a former Lakers fan, they ain't raised no Western Conference Finals banners. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, what a flex, right? At the end of the day, you can say, and we don't know how long this tournament is going to go. We don't know if this is a 5-year, 10-year, or this is something we're going to see for me, maybe even more than 20, 25 years. But to say you were the first to do something, I think speaks a lot for itself. So again, I wouldn't go the banner route, but I definitely like the champagne popping. I liked all of that. I liked you just did it, the $500,000. Like, I mean, Jesus Christ, that's a lot of money. So the Lakers did a little bit more than I would personally do, but at the end of the day, to say you were the first to do something is huge. So I was good with it for the most part.
Not hang division banners. It does not hang conference championships. You hang one banner and one banner only, and that's NBA titles. So you have to start there. You have to understand that that's what this is. And you
rest in peace to the great Kobe Bryant.
Rest in peace,
man.
Kobe Bryant.
Top you can't do that, man.
Because apparently y'all about to hang this good old banner. It's gonna hang right next, right up under the championship. It's gonna hang somewhere, right next to the Taylor Swift banner or something. It's gonna hang somewhere. It's gonna be somewhere. Lakers fans, y'all can hate it if you want.
This man brought Kobe in.
I told you I'm gonna get you back, dog.
The voice of God just came through the speakers, bro. I was like, Kobe.
Come on, bro. The voice of God right now. But shout out to the Lakers, man. Shout out for LeBron. I do think it was a big deal that the biggest superstar in the league did take the in-season tournament for seriously. You know, because this is something that the NBA can market. This is something that the NBA could maybe extend. Like, you are going to Las Vegas. Like, who don't want to go to Las Vegas, whether you're a player or viewer or, you know, working the team? Like, it's still Las Vegas. You're still going to have a good time watching basketball. I was watching Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce earlier, and they were talking about how you could possibly extend this in-season tournament into like an all-star weekend, which I like and I don't like, because I still think that you should focus on the in-season tournament. But if you do want to market this as an opportunity to, like I've been saying for the longest, combine basketball and hip-hop, like we there. You know what I'm saying? Don't open it to the fans. Oh, I mean, you got to think, Trevor, we doing it for the fans, right?
He meant the court designs.
Oh, the court design. Oh, no. Hell no. Don't leave it to the fans. Oh, no. We need to get professionals or something. But if you do, like I said, if you think about, like I said, the Lakers going into it and just winning it all, and the NBA being able to market not only just the in-season tournament, but you're marketing the Los Angeles Lakers, you're marketing LeBron James, you're marketing, you know, the future of the NBA, which Tyrese Halliburton gonna play a huge part in that. So shout out to them. I would like it to be, you know, just focus on basketball, but if you are gonna combine, you know, hip hop and basketball, and, you know, the culture and basketball, and, you know, everything else that Vegas has to offer in basketball, I mean, it's a plus, but at the same time, I think that we should just continue to focus on basketball, because it was a dub at the end of the day. Like I said, once it started and once Adam Silver tried to start breaking it down, and you have people like me trying to help everybody else understand what the hell is going on, it makes a lot of sense, right? Like, I mean, if you would have asked, you know, even us three basketball podcasters, basketball heads, if we plan on watching any game before the All-Star break or before Christmas, chances are we probably would have said nah. So now, not only did the NBA get viewers, not only did the NBA do a good job of giving good basketball, but now you got something that you can build on, you know, for the rest of the years to come. And not only that, just kind of diving a little deeper into it, if you pay attention, the NBA is about to sign a new TV deal. So them being able to get new deals, new sponsors, new money, you know, whether or not they aim towards TV or towards streaming, you have better numbers that can gauge the audience, that can gauge, the people that you want, whether it's Apple or, or Disney or whoever you're trying to get the money from. If you got viewership that's increased from October to December, it makes it even better, which means the players will get more money. Speaking of which, the players should get more money if you're a winner of this in-season tournament. Go ahead and make it a meal, man. Go make it a meal. You do have players on some rosters, believe it or not, that won't get paid $1 million this season. So go ahead and do it for them, man. But overall, I think this was a huge success, and I do anticipate Adam Silver to build on to it.
After listening to you and Ryan talk about it last week too, I'm kind of leaning into it a lot more. I mean, I've watched the games anyway, obviously, but the idea of making, I won't say making, but dressing up the regular season in a way that is equivalent to a tournament of sorts, or like a regional type of thing. I'm messing with it. And then Skylar, you mentioned showcasing your young talent that you may or may not have watched anyway. Like, I watched the Pacers starting last year, and I enjoyed them back then. I mentioned Benedict Mathurin, who went off the other day. And then of course Tyrese Haliburton, who's the
last night.
Yeah, the point of discussion of with the Pacers, the whole world got to see what Indiana is building over there in the Midwest right now. And they're a team that a lot of people are watching, honestly. Now they're 13-8, if I'm not mistaken. They're I think in 6th place. And so now, as a casual fan, like somebody else who's casual fan, you have a reason to watch the Indiana Pacers potentially in a matchup against, Philadelphia or Milwaukee in that 6-3 matchup. And you might say, okay, I think they might win a game or two, or they might perform better. We never know. And so I'm rocking with it. Change the courts, obviously. Don't get too crazy with it. Some courts were nice. I think it was I don't know, it was the Jazz court that was nice, or somebody's court. The Timberwolves court was nice. Milwaukee had a nice regular court, but that Bulls court, like I said, all red, looks terrible on TV, man. I ain't trying to watch a full-on bloodbath on the court. Do something that's a little bit more normal. Just do the in-season tournament trophy in the middle, like the old school finals logo, and just do something like logos on top of the court. Don't do no full pool of blood court. But I'm rocking with it. I'm rocking with it. And I did mention Tyrese Haliburton. Let's go ahead and segue into that. There is a love affair going on with Haliburton. You got folks saying that he's better than Ja, that he's better than SGA, that he's better than a lot of these players. There are polls now out. I think it was I think it was NBA. I forgot the name of the Twitter page, but they put a poll up that said, who would you rather have right now to start a team? And it was SGA and it was Haliburton. Two very good players. They're both going to be all-stars this year in their own right. But Haliburton, he, I think, won the poll. It was 63% compared to 27%, whatever the number is, 37%. And so people are high on Haliburton right now. He leads the league in assists at 12 a game. He's, I think, 13th in the league in scoring at 26. So the man is putting the ball in the hole, and he dishing the rock as well, too. So based on the tournament, based on what y'all seeing with Tyrese Haliburton from now to the future, what are y'all thoughts on him? How y'all feel about Haliburton?
Solid player, actually a really good player. Let me not do him any injustice at all. I mean, I liked him from the standpoint if he was able to dish the rock. He had a 2-3 game span where he had 35, 36 assists and no turnovers. That is insane. I think that's crazy. And then, I mean, give him even a little bit more credit to this point. He beat the Bucks and he beat the Celtics, if I'm not mistaken. So to beat two teams at the top of the conference the way that he did says a lot. But then the downside of it, to the in-season tournament is people start to get in their microwave society where what's the last thing that I saw? The last thing that I saw was what Tyrese Haliburton put in the buckets, but then not taking them into factor of what Ja has done, what SGA has done, or what other star players have done. I'm not ready to go to the level of he's better than SGA, he's better than Ja, he's better than De'Aaron Fox. I'm not going to give him that. But I think at the end of the day, a really, really good player, a player that you can build your team around, a player that is going to get the rest of his team involved, and he's going to show up for the game. I'm just not ready to go to the point of he's a top 10, top 15, maybe even a top 20 player. I'm not ready to go that route as of yet. But damn, I mean, what I did see was very, very impressive.
Yeah, I think what we're going to continue to see also is him continue to show the chemistry that he got with his teammates. I think that's pretty much what it is. And we see a player who's working with the front office and they approaching him saying, asking, even in the offseason, like what players, could you see yourself, meshing with more? And I think that's when we see, the additions of Bruce Brown and Obi Toppin, who, looking like a whole different player, but that's because you are able to get that easy access, easy lob, that as in like the Nashes and the Sotomayers, right? Like that's key. But then when you got a gun like him and shooting the way he does so effortlessly, he's the perfect point guard for this day and age basketball. You know what I'm saying? I can't call him a 3-and-D player because his defense could get a little better. But when you got somebody like him who can literally shoot the ball from anywhere, that's averaging 12 assists a game, like that's crazy. But that's nothing to do with shout out to the front office for giving him the talent to be able to do this. My challenge for him would be to continue to do this outside, past the All-Star game. Not to throw any names out, but we saw Lloyd from marketing turn up, when the All-Star game was in Utah. Then after the All-Star game, it was like, all right, let's go back in the lottery. Like that'll be my challenge, I guess, going forward continuously for Halliburton. Is like, of course, you're gonna get the All-Star nod. Did you get the All-Star starter nod? I mean, with the game being in Indiana, maybe. If is this what you're hoping for, or are you really trying to show that you can compete, in the NBA on a night in and night out basis? The answer for that is surely yes, for sure. But like I said, I got to continue to see it throughout the season before I put him over the Ja Morants, before I put him over the Shea Alexanders, because like I said, he's finally showing us who he is now. And it's a beautiful thing to see because they playing a beautiful basketball. Like I was watching, bring up the goddamn Pistons again. I was watching the game last night. Man had 8 assists first quarter. Bam, 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 bam. And I'm like, your knowledge for where your teammates are, and your knowledge of the game, and your knowledge of what the system that you're playing in, it's beautiful to watch. So if you haven't really watched Pacers basketball, please do so right now. Please do so. If you haven't, you're an idiot at this point. But it's beautiful basketball to watch. And shout out to my guy Ben Mathurin. Hooping. Dog.
And they got him back on the bench, man. 6 man a year. We back, baby. We back.
They doing something nice in Indiana, man. I can appreciate it.
Indiana is like, somebody compare Halliburton to like son Steve Nash, and of course Halliburton's 6'5", way taller than Steve Nash. I mean, he damn near is, man. Like I that's my favorite point guard of all time, Steve Nash. Like I watched him in the 7 seconds or less Phoenix Suns run the floor. Nash can go get 30. He can get you 10, 12 assists, be a maestro with the offense. And that's what Halliburton literally is doing for Indiana. And I think that, with, like I said, Ben Mathurin, with Obi Toppin, who's been reawakened with Indiana because he was sent to die in New York. You still got Buddy Hield, who apparently is, I don't know if he's getting traded or not. They're going to keep him. I mean, at this point, take all the scoring you can get because right now you can't defend nobody, but you're scoring 140 almost every other night if you're Indiana. And you got Rick Carlisle, as Skylar mentioned. You got Rick Carlisle, in my opinion, one of the better coaches of all time in terms of like knowing how to make players better. And newsflash, ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing that. We're seeing players improve under Rick Carlisle. Granted, they're not the best team, in the East right now. They're like the top 6. But we see, slowly but surely marginal improvements from this roster from top to bottom. You still got Miles Turner there, who, again, they said we're talking about trading him, but hearing him at a press conference beside Halliburton, they all seem to enjoy each other. And I said it from the beginning of this podcast. I said it even when I played basketball. The basketball has energy. If you passing the ball around, everybody suddenly feels better about themselves on offense. They try more on defense. It builds team chemistry. And again, with Halliburton leading the league in assists, everybody feels like I can go get 10, 15 points at least, every other night. I may not get like 20 points this night, but I can get 10 or I can contribute in another kind of way. And so with Indiana, I think it's moving in a positive direction. I don't know what kind of trade I would make, but they need some type of help on defense in some capacity. Interior defense is a problem for them. Miles Turner is one of the best shot blockers in the league, but I mean, we saw the other day too, like they just getting dominated in the paint by AD, by Bron, by anybody that can get in the paint and score, they can do it. But Halliburton himself, man, I think he will be starting this year in the All-Star game. I think he's going to get enough votes with it being in Indiana. I think he has enough of the popularity right now within the league from being in second place in the in-season tournament to be a starter. And his game is fun, man. The dude can shoot threes. He passes the rock. He is made for the All-Star game. And so I think with that being said, he will be a starter over somebody like Brunson, over Dame, over the Trae Young. Like, he's going to be started, I think, in the All-Star game this year. And I also think they got away from like the positions again. I think it's just a matter of who you get your front court, your back court, and your wild card players. So it's like a different way they're doing it this year. So I'm rocking with Halliburton, man. Y'all know I drafted him last year in the young boy draft. I was early to the game. Now everybody want to hop on the bandwagon. It's cool. I got room for y'all. But don't act like I wasn't here, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. And one more thing to add to your point. I think what I would like for the Pacers to do as well is really understand the moment that they're in, or understand who they have, and try to build on top of that. Yeah, we saw them make it to the championship game of the in-season tournament. We understand like where they are in the Eastern Conference. But I would like to, you just said is like make that trade, find that one or two players that can help them defensively, because they can score and they can score like with their starters, but then they also, to your point, they have players on their bench as well that can contribute. But damn it, if you cannot play defense in the playoffs, you will not win games. And so I don't know if anybody off the top of my head, but there's a player or two out there that you can go find that could guard a wing player, that can guard a 2 guard, that can maybe guard a 3 guard, to where like you don't necessarily have to shut them down, but you make them work for that 20, 25 that they normally get, or maybe even that 30 that they normally get. Is find a way to build on top of what you already have. So therefore, if you don't make it to if you don't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, or if you don't make it past the first or second round, you have something. Where did the 3-year come from? But you find something. You find that player that can contribute now, and then you can build on that after this year.
Look, I'm looking at the teams now to see who could they potentially get. Trying to see. I don't know if Utah would make a trade. They got some big men out there. I don't know if they still want to keep Walker Kessler, or do something else with that. I don't know. Let me see. What else? Detroit ain't got no. I mean, they got somebody, but I don't know what Detroit gonna do. So I ain't gonna talk about Detroit.
Ain't gonna trade with a rival either.
It's in division. Like, nah, they ain't gonna do that. So yeah, I agree though.
Low hanging fruit. Like, go see what the Bulls want for Alex Caruso. I mean, he ain't the best defender, but heck, he's somebody, and you wouldn't have to necessarily give up too much for him. Try that route.
See, the thing about that though, I think they want was it Bruce Brown to be that guy for them? So maybe it'll improve throughout the season, because I feel like that's the same kind of players, like 6'3", not really a point guard, but a shooting guard. You're not relying on him to be your primary scorer, but he can score in bunches. They need like interior help more than anything. They need somebody that can just like guard the paint, like block a shot, contest it, do something.
Because I kind of see Miles Turner being in that Jaren Jackson role, when it's like he's not pretty much a good defender, but he's a good shot blocker.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I would like to see him play with a center just to see how that goes, because he can shoot the ball a little bit too.
Yep, for sure. All right, let's hear a word from our sponsors. SeatGeek is a ticket app that takes the confusion out of buying tickets. When you use our code LBR Media, you will get $20 off your first SeatGeek order. SeatGeek scores each ticket selection 0 to 10 to let you know if you're getting a good or bad deal. Click the link in the description to download the app, and remember our code LBR Media for $20 off your first order. SeatGeek, your route to high-quality ticket selection. This episode of 3 to Hardaway is brought to you by the BetStamp app. BetStamp is helping thousands of people win at sports betting for free. The same way travelers use Google Flights or Expedia to find the best prices, sports bettors can now use BetStamp to do the same. When you place a bet, the odds given by a sportsbook will determine how much you can possibly win. Even when betting on the same outcome, different sportsbooks will offer varying payouts, and these differences can be huge. Thankfully, BetStamp allows you to easily line shop for the most profitable odds across all sportsbooks. You can click on any matchup and instantly see all the different odds for games lines, player props, and even future bets. Line shopping is the simplest way to find an edge in sports betting and maximize your chances of winning long term. On average, BetStamp users win an extra $1,000 yearly just by line shopping. You can find the BetStamp app on the Apple Store, Google Play Store, or through your browser at www.betstamp.app. To access all these benefits, sign up using promo code LBR. That's LBR, and start your journey to sports betting today. If you forget to use the code upon sign up, you can always enter our code in your BetStamp account settings afterwards. BetStamp. Bet like a pro. All right, gentlemen, we are a couple of games away from Ja Morant returning to the lineup for your Memphis Grizzlies. Of course, the news right now with Ja Morant is that he is currently in court about that fight he had with the 17-year-old here in Memphis, Tennessee, quote unquote Memphis, Tennessee. And that's going to run its course through this week, but he will be available to play in a couple of days against the New Orleans Pelicans in New Orleans. He did come out and say on social media that he is returning on that specific day, so it won't be that home game against the Pacers and Tyrese Halliburton, even though I'm very excited for that game. But he's coming back on the road on TNT against the New Orleans Pelicans. The Grizzlies right now they're not good. They're not a good team. They are currently 6-16 as it stands. That's in line with what you said. I forget what you predicted from the beginning.
I told y'all it was gonna be under 10.
You did say under 10. So and so they are literally about to be under 10.
That's literally what everybody was arguing me about. Well, you're wrong on this one, ladies and gentlemen.
We still doing a victory lap too. We bringing that tweet back, and we're gonna talk to some people on social media about this situation.
Oh, we are.
So yeah, they're 6-16. They did just lose the other day. Bane's playing great. Jaren's playing great, but that's about it, man. Nobody else is doing anything. You're not getting nothing from Derrick Rose. You're not getting nothing from John Conchar, from Bismack Biyombo, who everybody's hyped about, from any of your draft picks. I mean, Roddy, he's starting now. He's playing okay, but he's a role player. We all know that. Zaire is trash. Jake LaRavia, he's trash. We all knew that. These players are not good. It's you really got two guys, and then the rest are just some side dishes. But Ja Morant, he's coming back. He's going to be added to the lineup with Bane and with Jaren. So hopefully that's more scoring to be had, and not even just more scoring, but different levels of scoring. Because like Bane's not taking the basket. Jaren does take the basket, but he don't have that much gravitational pull as like a Ja Morant does when Ja goes to the basket, and Ja, of course, can draw fouls, driving kicks or whatever. But with that being said, what are y'all expecting? I guess when Ja comes back that first game, and can the Grizzlies can they get to 500? That's my question. Can they get to 500 within the next few months?
I'm expecting life to be easier for Desmond Bane and Jaren. I think that initially is going to make their lives better. To your point, Savage, he's going to attack the rim way more frequently than anybody else is on the team. So you're going to get that. You're now going to see Desmond Bane in rhythm, taking shots. I mean, he's still doing that. He's still a really good jump shooter. But I mean, just games that I've seen in person, defenses are now honing on him. Like they're saying, we now got to stop him. And so when Ja comes back, you'll see that maybe Desmond Bane is being guarded by the second or third best player. So that's going to allow easier scoring for him. It's going to open up the lane, in my opinion, for Jaren Jackson Jr. First of all, shout out to him in the amazing run that he's been on. He had the 40-point game last night against Dallas. Had a 40-point game against the Phoenix Suns, if I'm not mistaken, about a week ago. So I'm glad to see him balling. That rebounding ain't gonna get nowhere where I wanted to go, but nonetheless. So I'm expecting the Grizzlies to play with more energy. I'm expecting them to play with more purpose. Is another thing that I'm glad to see when I'm looking forward to see when Ja gets here. I'm looking forward to the FedEx Forum having more pop than what it has. Again, I've gone to at least 3 or 4 games, and it doesn't have that pop, right? We've all been to the FedEx Forum, and when it's different when you go to the FedEx Forum to see Ja and the Grizzlies. It's different when you go see the Grizzlies with Ja and without. I mean, it is a huge difference. So you're going to see that. I believe they can get back to 500. I believe that they can at least fight and contend. I would not be shocked if they at least made their way into the play-in. My concern is they've made such a big hole that I just don't know if they can get out of it. That's along with, we talked about this on Let's Be Real a few months ago, and Tuka said this, when a team or a player does not go into the season healthy, typically that's how they end the season. And so the Grizzlies have had numerous of injury problems. They've had people in and out of the lineup. Sometimes you go to the games, you be like, who is that? Like, who is this person? Who is that person? They've had a lot of those moments. So I'm hoping the flip can switch and they are they can at least maintain a healthy roster, or they can at least maintain, this is my top 7 or 8, and for the most part, or at least for the remainder of the season, I'm going to get that. My biggest concern though is they cannot guard the 3-point line, and it is very, very, very frustrating to watch them not guard the 3-point line. That is one of my biggest pet peeves, and I'm not sure if Ja Morant answers that. So with that, to answer your question, that's all that I'm expecting to see. But I would really like the Grizzlies to make a mid-season trade to find somebody. And you have Vince Williams Jr., who's showing really good promise. He's playing really, really good defense. Luka Doncic gave him a shout out yesterday in the post game, saying like, that guy can guard. That guy has a future in this league. But he's still young, right? He still has a learning curve that he has to get through. But Lord, I would really like for the Grizzlies to make a trade. I'm good on LaRavia. I'm good on Roddy. I'm good on Zion Williams. I forgot he was almost on the team at this point. But I feel like they've got to move some of these younger wings out of the team to find that true second, or that true 2 or 3 guard or wing that can help one guard the 3-point line, but then to be able to guard the opposing player's best player. So that's all I'm looking forward to, and I believe they can get there. I'm also not too sold on Taylor Jenkins. I just don't see the players responding to him as much as you would like a team to do. And so with that, I'm also concerned, like, if he's lost his voice in the locker room. And when a coach loses his voice in the locker room, whether that's football, whether that's basketball, whether that's hockey, whether that's baseball, you're not getting that back. It's very, very hard to get that back. So hoping Ja can fix all of that. I'm not sure if he can, but if nobody else can do it, or if there's very few people in the league who can do it, it's Ja. But I expect them to at least be contending for the play-in.
I think that's why Ja Morant is the superstar that he is. Lito, you hit it right on the head when you said it's not many players that could do it if it were to be done. Like, the reason Ja Morant is so special is because he has this unique ability to elevate the talent that's around him, which is why, the Grizzlies were able to make the playoffs, every season besides his rookie year. That's what he does. He's a special talent. He's a scorer. He can do it all. But to answer your question, Savage, I would say no, for the simple fact of, me being the Grizz father, right? And me saying, the Grizzlies won't win 10 games in this particular moment. Okay, well, these, whatever the record gonna be, is gonna hurt. Us fighting to get back to 500 ball, it's gonna hurt us in the long run, especially when you got teams that are already playing good basketball. When you look at let's just look at the standings right now. I think the Suns, they number 9, and of course they're not going to end the season number 9. The Clippers 8, the Rockets 7. Maybe they can overtake the Clippers, but then again, you got my Warriors that are outside the top 10 completely. So when you look at still the standings, we trying to get to 500 ball when we need to try to push even higher for that. And then you also got to think about Ja Morant coming back for the next 57 games. Again, what I've been saying since the offseason, are we really expecting him to play all 57 of them games? You got to ask yourself that as well. Y'all talked about the talent on the team. I ain't got to say a damn word. Why? Because I've been saying it. This is just not a good Memphis Grizzlies team. And I love my guys, but I've been watching Grizzly games since they were in the pyramid, going to sleep on the couch watching these niggas. Like, I love this team. So I know what a good Grizz team and a bad team look like. We had questions about Taylor Jenkins. Is he going to be able to, come and be a good coach? I mean, we've had our best basketball under Jenkins is what I'm trying to say, is what I've been wanting to say. And I'm not going to say that this is the end of it, but if the Grizz aren't, if Ja Morant, hypothetically, if Ja Morant play 50 games and we don't end up under 500, I don't expect Taylor Jenkins to be back next season because, like I said, we do in our eyes have the talent, but at the same time, have we really progressed as a team? Are we going to get better in the playoffs? You know what I'm saying? Like I easily said, oh, we go against the Lakers, we're going to get our asses whooped. It shouldn't be that obvious when the Grizzlies make the playoffs, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ja Morant. I know that he been practicing, especially his chest passes. We see him passing the ball in court and shit, whatever that's about. So we know he warmed up. We know he ready. But what is he coming back to? What situation is he coming back to? And I answer that by saying to a Grizz team that can definitely use his talent, a Grizz team that I want to see succeed, but a Grizz team that I think that better days up under Taylor Jenkins have already progressed, have already gone.
So here's how I feel about first the Ja Morant return. I think Ja Morant's return is going to provide some level of confidence and a motivational push, not just like for the rest of the season, but like even in the middle of the game, right? Ja is one of those players that like one play can energize an entire audience, like a crowd. It can energize the team. Like a Ja Morant dunk, literally. Scott, you was at my house during the Timberwolves game. He had that dunk, and of course, you left because we thought the game was over with. But he had that dunk in the third quarter. They came back and won the game. And I'm assuming that same sort of, as the kids say, aura within the team is going to help the Grizzlies perform better on the court. Of course, defensively, you mentioned it, like the perimeter defense is terrible. They are currently last in the NBA in a opponent three-point percentage at 39%. Opponents are shooting 39% from three against the Grizzlies overall. At home, ladies and gentlemen, opponents are shooting 43% in the FedEx Forum. They're shooting 43% in the FedEx Forum against the Grizzlies 3-point percentage. I don't know what it is about the
so many
Forum.
inappropriate jokes just came to my head.
I don't even know what came to your head, but
it's the fact that they shoot better. No.
Wow! Don't even.
I'm sorry.
Don't even go there.
Scratch this out.
Don't even go there.
Scratch it out. I'm sorry, guys. Thank you so much for this. I love y'all.
but yeah, man, like something has to give, right? And so a huge discourse within Grizz Twitter is, who do we blame for the troubles of the Grizzlies, right? Is it Ja Morant, the fact that he couldn't like not go on social media flashing a gun, a toy, a lighter, or whatever it is? Is it Ja Morant? Is it Taylor Jenkins? Can he coach? Is he not a good coach? Is he a product of who he has talent-wise in previous years? Is he a product of having veterans, so on and so forth? Is it Zach Kleiman? Did he triple down on youth? Can they not develop these players? Is it our fault as fans for having too high of expectations for Memphis Grizzlies to perform up to the standard? Is it? I mean, is it our fault? Like, I mean, in my opinion, it's not. They were 2 seeds back-to-back years. Like, so I'm like, no, you were good enough to perform well, and now you're not. So we don't know. I don't know whose fault it is per se, but I do know this: the Grizzlies have a problem with like personnel in terms of like people staying healthy, for one. Like Steven Adams' injury, he practiced in the training camp. He played in preseason games, was shooting threes in preseason games, by the way. And then before the season starts, he out for the season. Okay, like big news. Like, damn, what happened? Whatever. And then Luke Kennard got a bone bruise. That's been a bone bruise for like ever. And I joked and said he gonna need surgery in the next couple of weeks. Of course, they had a report that came out to say he's gonna be out for 2 to 3 weeks again, and be back by I think Christmas or later, whatever. I'm still iffy about that. Of course, you got Brandon Clark who got hurt in the playoffs. We had Zaire's injury last year, so it's like at some point we have to figure out, like, are we going to try to win games? What does trying to win games look like without Ja Morant, coming back until next week? Like, how do we win games? We can't keep losing games and then sell it to fans going to the FedEx Forum to be like, hey, y'all, we giving y'all these tickets, but the team is trash, by the way. Just letting y'all know. We're going to start John Conchar at point guard. We're going to start Jake LaRavia. We're going to play Zaire X amount of minutes. We're going to put a nice project at South Haven, GG Jackson, who we could play, but we're not gonna play because we're gonna play Jalen Noel, who by the way is okay, he decent, but why play a guy that wasn't even drafted by you over a guy that was drafted at 6'9", putting up 25 a game in the G League? That stuff does not make sense to me as a fan. That's what I'm confused about. And so I don't know who to blame for the ills of the Grizzlies, but I do think that Ja Morant is gonna provide some type of, I don't know if it's gonna be temporary or long-term help for the projection of the Grizzlies, but he is gonna help in some capacity because I mean the man can go score 30. Bane been going crazy, Jaren been going crazy. Ja is like the final piece, hopefully, of the Infinity Gauntlet that is support for the Memphis Grizzlies. So I think they can get back to 500, but it might be a long time before they get there. They might lose a couple games here and there, and then at some point in like February, March, they get right at 500 and then be in a spot to be in, like just inside or just outside the play-in, I think. But of course, I could be wrong. Took the victory lap gonna be crazy. The victory lap gonna be crazy, bro.
Hey, look, boy, y'all better pray out and had a conversation with the Lord or something, because y'all. Hey, question though, why Ja Morant in court though? Like, can you? I know it's over the summer, but
yeah,
can you kind of break that down, because I kind of like. I think it has a chance to even alter the 57 games that he, supposed to be playing for the rest of the season.
So the court situation is about him getting to fighting with that 17-year-old kid out of his house in East Tennessee. So for those of you that don't know, they live in Memphis, Tennessee, on the outskirts, like in the rich areas. And T. Morant, Ja Morant's dad, has a history of inviting kids over to the house, playing basketball, barbecuing, all those things. So they did that similar thing in this case where Ja Morant is out there hooping. Kids from the local high schools are hooping. I don't know what high school the kid goes to, but I know that in one of the tweets, somebody said that Naya, Ja's sister, invited the guy over, and he had been over there before, I guess in previous like weeks or whatever. So he came over there. They played basketball. If you play ball in Memphis, things can get kind of antsy. One foul or one hard, hit, whatever, somebody can throw the ball at you, you get the fight, whatever, shit happens. So the guy threw the ball at Ja, and Ja stepped to him, or he stepped to Ja stepped to him, they finna go at it. Before the guy could do anything, Ja swung on him, and of course a fight breaks out. And that's kind of where we're at right now. The guy's mom filed a police report, and of course now they're in court. And I guess trying to figure out, are they going to pay like the kids some money? Is Ja going to have to do like community service, whatever. That's what the main thing is right now. Way I see it, man, I'm like, this is an ordinary day in the hood. In my opinion, like people get to fighting on a basketball court every day. Like literally, I remember when I was like, how old was I? I had to have been either a freshman in high school or maybe like in middle school, but I don't know if y'all know like Farrakhan Hall for the Tigers, former Tiger. He played basketball here. He was playing in our cove, and my neighbor, he was playing as well. So we playing 2-on-2, and we getting physical, we bumping, whatever. And me and Farrakhan got into it. He's like a year or two older than me, and we get the fist fighting, but shit happens when you fighting. You know what I'm saying? Not fighting, but when you playing basketball. So to me, it's like if this would have happened in like Whitehaven, Orange Mound, Binghamton, Westwood, wherever, nobody cares about it. It's like, all right, it's another day in the hood. Or if anything, we gonna organize the fight and say, all right, y'all got 10 seconds, do what y'all gonna do, fight, whatever. After y'all done, shake it up, and we done here. The fact that it happened in like a bougie ass neighborhood and bro mom wanted to go to court, to me, that's, in my opinion, that's weak. I'm like, man, it's just Ja Morant, bro. You could have finessed this in a way where it's like, hey man, we cool, just give me tickets to the game, give me some shoes, whatever. I understand that as a parent, like you want to, defend your child. Like I get that, but in my opinion, as a parent, as somebody that has hooped before, you can learn a better lesson by handling the shit yourself, man to man, instead of having to go through the police and do this shit. Like this shit's unnecessary. They got Ja Morant in court, like showing what it means to check the ball, like passing the basketball back and forth. They got Ja Morant showing what it look like somebody about to punch you by pulling your pants up and like squaring up real. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing downtown? We in the city of Memphis, y'all. We got people dying every day, shooting,
spending my tax money on stuff like that, bro. I'm gonna help you.
Go ahead.
Spending tax money on to see what it looks like for somebody to check the ball, chest passes when I got potholes right behind me. That's as deep as a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment. Cause like, can I'm just going to say like this is the last thing that I hope Ja Morant has to deal with and stuff has to do in terms of like the courts and having altercations with people off the court. Like I would just hope we can get to a space where we're talking about Ja Morant more on the basketball court than off. Like I would really, really want to get to that point sometime soon. But this whole thing of him and this guy and who he invited to the house, like let that be a learning experiment to say like I need to just focus on my own shit. Let me focus on what goes on the confines of my home. Let me do what I can to better my teammates, so therefore we can get into the postseason, or we can accomplish our goals. But like this stuff, as a huge fan and a huge supporter of Ja, I'm kind of tired of talking about it. Like, let's talk about more stuff. Let's talk about shoes. Let's talk about your endorsements. Let's talk about you scoring 30 on the Boston Celtics. Let's talk about that versus this other stuff that has nothing to do with who you are.
Hey, Lito, folks ain't started talking about it yet. Wait till Malika Andrews get her little hands on this. That's a wrap. Shout out to you, Savage, for breaking it down like that. That's a wrap.
Malika Andrews, Lord. I'm gonna be quiet about Malika Andrews.
But the reason I want to ask it because, like I said, it's still going on in the season. I think there is a chance where this could be just a money grab for the parents or whatever, respectfully. But if they do have to settle out in court, this may or may not be another bad look for the NBA, and how the NBA feel about Ja Morant right now. So that's what I was asking. Like, he's already got 57 games left this season. There may or may not be a chance that he missed more specifically due to this issue in court.
Yeah, man, I'm so over. I'm so over this the court situation because I had took a break from Twitter. What was it, yesterday? And I come back and I'm just reading through Jeff Calkins tweets. I'm like, what is this going on? What the hell going on with Ja Morant in court? And second of all, this is an aside. Ja Morant, at least wear a shirt and tie in court, man. Bro came with a jacket, a polo shirt.
I told my man, come dressed like you would for work, and he did exactly that.
Man. Come as you are.
Right. With a tech police. Like, bro,
a tech police in court, Morant.
Like, come on.
Like, they had a Grizzlies basketball, man. Why you couldn't get Spalding? Wilson, you got to get a Grizzlies. They had this. That shit was signed.
People trolling us, bro. That's what it is. They trolling.
Ja Morant signed that basketball. I promise you, he gave it to somebody in the crowd. I promise you, it's something weird.
Trolling.
That's just weird.
Let me go through these comments, man. Tyler,
weird,
what up, T? He said, "Been gonna let him learn.
What
This
up,
shouldn't
Tyler?
happen again." And I don't think it will. I agree, Tyler. I think Ja Morant has learned his lesson. Like I didn't even know that something that slick that came out of the court, documents is that John mentioned that he did have a endorsement with Powerade. So I think that's gone. I think they originally had said they're gonna take it away, but the way that he was talking, the language he used, it's not like they pulled him from Powerade. So that sucks for Ja Morant to lose money, but I mean he has the opportunity to get it back. He might get Gatorade. You never know. He might get a better bag.
Hey, that's gotta suck if you gotta hoop with somebody and sign an NDA before then. Like, that's crazy. Imagine having to sign an NDA before you hoop with a nigga. What's that got to do with y'all? Whatever happened on this court.
I'm not hooping with you. It's that simple.
Right.
I'm not hooping with you.
NDA to hoop. That's crazy.
Exactly. Think about it. It hit you now. It hit you.
Yeah. Because normally an NDA is like, hey man, like you got a girl, you can go to the hotel room, no phones, no nothing. We just
trying to put the ball in the hole.
Ja, I love you, man.
Hey, Scott, you ugly for that. He said trying to put. It's a different NDA for depending on who you ask.
Ja, I love you, man. Come back and kill the league, man. Show them who you are.
Oh man,
show them who you are.
He gonna be back, man. He gonna be back. What else we got here? Trevor says, let's not forget Vince Williams, who is shown. Yeah, Vince Williams been hooping, man. He missed to do something. Part 2. July Milton was. Let me see who else. T's back again. I'm no Grizz fan, but Ja, my second favorite player. Can't wait to have him back in the league. That's facts, man. That's facts, man. Ja's that dude, man. People have forgot that Ja Morant can play basketball. Like we've seen him play basketball, in previous months. Like the dude still can hoop, man. So to see all of these lists and these top 5s, these top 10s, and y'all get like Like again, Halliburton, who's a great player, but we've seen Ja Morant do what he does in playoff basketball. We haven't seen that from Halliburton. We haven't seen that from SGA in this version of him. We had the old version of him with Chris Paul beside him in the Clippers when he was a rookie. Like, nah, we gotta see you while you in the prime of your career. So Ja Morant, we look forward to seeing you on the court, man. Don't do nothing crazy. Please stay off the social media. No guns. Like, you can have a gun, but just chill. Just chill on it, man. And also, this is something that helps Ja Morant. Like, leave my guy alone. He can go to a concert. He can go have fun. He can go to the club. He can do this. He can drink. He's of age, man. Let him do him. He's a grown ass man. Let him do him. And when you get back, Ja, do you on the court, man. That's all we ask for as Memphis fans. That's all we ask for. All right, gentlemen. Anything else for the good of the order?
No, I'm good.
I'm just waiting on y'all to say congratulations to y'all Lakers.
Hey, bro, chill out, cuz.
That's crazy, bro. Well, I'm sorry, Skylar, since Savage.
Thank you.
Like, damn, your boys just did something ain't nobody done before.
You talking about my Tigers? Yeah,
shout out to them. You know, shout out to them Tigers though, for real.
Hey, shout out to them Tigers. There you go. That's how you pivot the conversation. There you go.
Hey, shout out to Brent. No, we're gonna pivot back, bro. Shout out to Brenny. You know what I'm saying?
Bronny, yeah, hey,
if you
Bronny
keep pivoting, bro, exactly. If you keep pivoting, at that point, you're traveling.
Look. But yeah, shout out Bronny, man. Bronny played in this game the other day. They lost to Long Beach State. What the hell, USC?
Yeah.
They're gonna get there, man.
So Bronny's back on the court. Who else? Hey, now speaking of USC, who this Juju girl who putting up buckets every night? Oh my
Juju
god!
Watkins, I think.
Yeah, Juju Watkins. Oh my god!
Wow.
Shoot, I need to watch.
Hey, it's a lot of women hoopers, bro.
Look, that's why I'm raising one, man. I'm raising one.
Hey, brother, Indiana fever coming, bro. Indiana fever coming,
man.
Caitlin Clark. Got Caitlin Clark on the way because it's going to be a whole different type of league.
They're going to turn Indiana up.
Man, exactly. Look. For real. All right, man. So we're gonna get up out of here. My question to the viewing audience, so y'all can comment in the comment section or even on Twitter. Will the Detroit Pistons win the game by our next episode? That's my question. That is my question. Man. That's my question from now until they win the game. Will they win a basketball game? So leave that in the comments or on the stream, and we'll see y'all back next week, same time, same place. Stay safe. Be blessed. Peace.